Hi, everybody. This is Jeffrey. This is Ripe Color. This is actually a test video. I just got a microphone. It's so exciting. And I tested it and it seems to be working. But I do want to turn on the air conditioner because I want you to tell me if you can hear the air conditioner, because that would not be good. And I'm going to do a little reading. Okay. And I hate black. It's just that was there. I have to work on stuff later and I get paint all over me. So I put a little scarf on to make it a little bit, je ne sais quoi. Hang on. As some of you know, I have one of those air conditioners that it has a hose that goes into the window, and it works really well. It leaks, but it works really well, but it is a little loud. So I want to make sure that you can't hear it. So, I mean, I don't think I hear it, but it doesn't matter whether I think I can hear it. I mean, I know I can hear it, but I'm hoping that it doesn't come through on the video. So this is the reading. Finally, you're getting to the point. This is going to be the fall reading, right? September 20th, 21st, 23rd, changes every year through December 21st, 22nd, give or take. This is going to be the fall reading for the collective. I really hope that the sound is good. So I got the microphone. I went to one of the big box stores. They don't know what they're talking about. I mean, not that I do, because that's getting quite loud. So I want to see if you can hear it or not. Please like, subscribe, share, and press the bell for notifications. You got to let me know about the sound one way or another. Please. I guess I could watch the video, but I it's like I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything because I don't want to hear anything. That goes. So this is the seasonal reading, as it were, and it includes the full moon. I guess it's the full moon. We're in October, so is it an Aries full moon or a Pisces full moon? I'm not really sure. No, September probably be a Pisces full moon. Okay, this is for the collective, and I really hope the sound is good. I mean, when I tested it, it sounded really clear and you heard every word, because sometimes I watch my own videos if I get like a lot of response and I'm like, oh, what did I say? And then, you miss a word or two, which isn't good. 2, 3. Oh my God, it's fantastic. Whether or not the microphone is working the way I want it to. It's fantastic. Okay. The Ace of Cups, the beginning of healing, and really something new and lovely and kind and healing coming through. And really put to bed the energy of the summer. More healing. So overall, it's going to be really good, really nurturing, nourishing. Change of season also. That makes sense. Okay, good. Away we go. I want more bracelets. All right. La la la. Look at that. Okay. I think what's going on is that this slow motion sort of catastrophe we've lived through collectively, virus, finance, etc., is coming to a close. And I think, well, it's interesting. So this is my interpretation. It's an illusion to think that it was this all-out catastrophe. So look, I'll just give you an example from my life. Had it not been for everything that went down, I would not, I mean, I had already started the YouTube station, but I didn't get really serious about it. I didn't get really serious about it until I had nothing else to do. So it was like easy to just get into this role of being here every day, being here every week, being here every month. And through that, I've got to really, in a lot of ways, enhance my life and enhance my skills. So the interesting thing about the Tower card is, okay, I do have my glasses, which is wonderful. I don't have my pen and paper, so if I have to do a little diagram, we're lost. Okay. So here they are falling out of the tower, la, 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 la. You know, it's karmic. It's karmic. It's almost like the universe gives you a push when you can push yourself, right? And then out of this are these little flames, which actually are yud. I've spoken about this before. A yud is the smallest and most powerful letter in the Hebrew alphabet, and it's a 10, it's completion. And it's a very, very holy letter. There are letters in Hebrew. I did go to I went to Jewish religious school, big queen that I am. And I do remember, anyway, now you know. It's one of the holiest of letters. So there are letters that are like base letters, and then there are letters specifically in the Hebrew alphabet, because it's a whole magic system, that are very holy, and they all have significance in terms of numerology and in terms of, so God's first name begins with the yud. Jesus's first name begin with the yud. It's like the flame or the seed of holiness in a way. That this letter specifically. Also, when you put that letter on the end of a word, it insinuates mind. You know, I, mine, right? Sort of like an O at the end of Spanish, like tengo is I have, right? Tener is the verb, but tengo. So that it's similar in a way to that, because a lot of languages do that. You know, they'll tell you who's saying it by the way you conjugate the verb. So I feel actually like there's a certain completion, okay? There's a certain ending here, but a certain beginning at the same time, and it really involves healing. I mean, look at all the cups. So the catastrophe happened, but now it's time to heal. Now it's time to move forward. Now it's time, look at this, you know, to meet like-minded people, to get in touch with your dreams, to accept gifts. Right? This is where we were. Unemployment, destitution, a change in finance, inability to see the light, right? In a certain way, they're unable to see the light in this card, right? Because this is the light. So whenever you see the church window show up, or the church in general show up in the readings, it's, you know, this is all symbolism. So it symbolizes spirit, it symbolizes spirituality, it symbolizes hope, especially in this card, because if you look really closely, there's an anchor here, right? An anchor. So it's almost like the Hanged Man in a way, this card. But they're not looking at it. It's like it's there, it's right there, and they're unaware. They're so busy, right? And the 5 is change. So maybe the change is that they turn around and go, oh, we can get out of the snow. They might even have food. So I feel like there's a change in, this is for the collective, not only financial security, but also in, not only in finances, but in security. And I feel like the security is coming from relationships. Security is coming from healing, from love, from kindness, from compassion. I think that's what's going on. Another contract. This is like a contract so this is a contract in a way, right? As is this. But this is a contract with the divine. It's a contract with the divine, basically. It's a contract between a man and a woman, like a spiritual contract, not, but it's also, and it's the contract of the duality. It's also the contract between man and God, right? Contract with the angels, with us. It's illuminated. But also, just like this card, and just like this card, it's really a choice. It's really a choice. And some people are going to choose to stay out in the cold. And some people are going to choose, it's like, let's go in there. One time I was in Italy with my friend, and we were in Rome, and we went to go see, I don't even know, it wasn't even like a tourist thing, but there was like a certain block in the city that they dug down, and they had all these columns, and it was like surrounded by normal city, with like stores and this and that. So we went to go see it. It was kind of cool. And actually, we were looking at fabric stores. That's what we went. We went to go look at fabric stores. And I thought I was going to get a bargain, but you can't get a bargain on fabric in Italy. Anyway, and the stores were okay. There were some beautiful things, but they were very expensive as they are in New York. And, it's like, do I really want to take 10 yards of fabric home with me? Anyway, as we're walking, it starts to rain. And we didn't have umbrellas, and it was like a while to go because we were walking. Wasn't, I said, let's duck in here. And my friend was like, oh, no, because it was like it wasn't a vintage store. It's really like a used clothing store. Big difference. You got me? So we went in, and they had some really interesting thing. I mean, I tried on, I don't know, 30 sweaters, nothing fit. It was a long story, but they had some fabulous hats. And I love me my hats. So I ended up getting a really, really, really beautiful hat for like 15 euro. And it was a designer hat, and I wear it sometimes. It's brown and it's waxed. So it's like the rain will literally fall right off it. And it's beautiful. It fits really well. It's the same shape that I like, that flat. So had I not decided to run in there, I would be, I would just be soaking wet on the streets of Rome, which isn't a cute look anywhere. And because I turned around and saw the light, and we had a ball, by the way, on top of everything else, we had a ball because I don't speak Italian. My friend, we speak a little, my friend speaks Spanish, it's his native tongue, and Italian and Spanish, you think you can, but you kind of can and you kind of can't. And, but we had so much fun. We were laughing and taking pictures, and I was putting on this whole drama, trying everything on, it was really, I think we made their day, they made our day. I got a great hat. So it's like, there's always a choice at the end of the day. It's like, well, do you want to like be in the misery and commiserate with your misery with your other miserable friend? Or do you want to be in the garden? Like, what would you like? There's always a choice. Pretty simple. Another cup. Another cup. So he's a fascinating king. He's a fascinating king to me. So he would symbolize, so some people read these cards like, oh, a king is an older man, la, la, la. It's an energy. So what's interesting about him is that he has been through trouble. So he's emotional, right? He's the emotional. So he's like the man with the heart. That's what he is. He's a much softer king than all the other kings. You can actually go and talk to him, right? You can actually go and talk to him, and he'll hear you, because that's what he does. He listens, because he's the intuitive one. He's empathic, is what he is, and he's been through trouble. He understands troubled waters. He completely gets it. You could tell him anything and he'd be like, yeah, I understand. Yep, I hear you loud and clear. Right? Not everyone's like that. Not everyone has that experience. He has that experience, right? And through it all, he is diplomatic. He's a good listener. He's compassionate. He's loving. And he too offers the gift of healing. So I feel like overall, it's it's a place that we all as a collective are at. And do you want to concentrate and focus on oh, 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 oh? I'm not saying that it's not valid. I'm not saying that it's not true. What I am saying is, where are you putting your focus? Because I feel like wherever you put your focus, this is kind of the message that I keep on bringing through in different ways, but it's really clear in this reading. And I feel like at the, so wherever you put your focus will grow, right? If I have a goal and I have a vision and I take action towards saying being more financially independent, as opposed to, looking through the help wanted, as an example, looking through the help wanted and going, that's not a good job. 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 Woe is me. Alas. How often do you get to use these words? Alas. This is when you wish I had like really long flowing hair and then I could just whip around. But then I'd be doing a beauty channel. Any case, I feel like we're all really at the precipice as to whether we want to heal or whether we want to live in a catastrophe. And you know what? This is a slow motion deal. As far as I can see, this whole thing is a slow motion deal. Everything is being reformed. Pluto's in Capricorn and will be for a couple more years. So, as you know, the government isn't the same as it was. Religion isn't the same as it was. The family structure isn't the same as it was. Neither is the job market. Neither is real estate. Neither is relationships with others. Neither is anything. Neither is anything. And it's like, well, are we going to make happen and make do and make a new world of healing out of this? Or are we just going to sit and say, I'm waiting for things to go back to the way they were? Well, they're not going to go back to the way they were. So are you going to make the best of this situation? Or are you going to be out in the cold? And I feel like everyone has their own individual choice. Everyone has their own individual choice. And the thing about the king is that we have to honor everyone's choice. We have to honor everyone's choice. There are so many times in my life where I've had people around and they're like, well, do you think I should do this? And everyone tells them to do A and they do B anyway, right? And it's like, well, my job is to love them anyway. My job is to love them anyway. That's my job. That's my job. And it ain't easy. But finding that compassion in my heart for those I don't agree with, for those that don't see things the way that I see things, for those that are blind or willfully blind, right? Because we're all mirror of one another. If I can love that part of you as best I can, right? That willfully walks around blindly, and has a desire and a I don't know if they have a desire so much as that they're blind. If they choose to live in that, can I love them? Love them doesn't mean invite them over for dinner. Love them doesn't mean give them money. Love them means allow them to have the dignity of making their own mistakes, right? Because the more I can do that for them, I allow myself the dignity to make mistakes as well. And say, you know, I make a mistake every day, believe me. So it's like, well, instead of being like, like I need that, like any of us need that. It's kind of like, well, let's have some ice cream and we'll try again tomorrow. Let's have some ice cream. We'll try again tomorrow, metaphorically. you know, I love the sweets. Yeah, it's interesting because I talked about the hangman earlier, right? I don't know why this reminds me of the hangman in a way. I guess the verticalness of it. Deep soul searching. This is this is a deep soul searching and willing to sacrifice, willfully and willingly sacrificing something and allowing yourself to see a larger, well, actually, not only allowing yourself to see a larger picture, but putting yourself in a position of pausing and looking at the larger picture and being able to take in all the realms, to really understand like a bigger picture, not just for me, but for the world. And if I see a larger picture, it's like, well, I'm not the only one with problems. I'm not the only one who, is concerned about everything we're concerned about. Because what happens, if this is Odin on the tree, what happens is as he discovers the other realms, he takes them into himself, right? He really experiences them. And then he goes into his heart and exudes love out. That's what he does. That's what the hangman ends up doing. But it's very much a pause. It's very much, observing, really observing. So basically, that's what I observe. I observe different people making different choices. And what's right for one is not necessarily right for the other. And I have to make my own choices for me, which make me happy or comfortable or etc. And other people have their own choices to make for themselves. And that's a really profound, lifelong, for me, lesson in allowing other people to do whatever they do and accepting them on that level. But it doesn't mean that I try to change their mind. None of us can change each other's minds anyway, really. It's like you can show by example, you could live your life, but to actually change someone else's mind, I have a hard enough time trying to change my own mind. So now I'm going to get into your business and have you change your mind. To what end? I've got things to do, right? Anyway, that's my take for the month. Well, for the season, for the fall of 2021. Blessings to you. I have a good feeling about the microphone. It's something I've wanted it for a long time, and all my other tests seem to have worked out well. So, blessings. Thanks for tuning in, and have a lovely fall. Enjoy the bounty. Enjoy the bounty of the